Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another segment of People and Places. I'm Dan Roberts, the publisher of the Vegas Voice, and I have the great pleasure of introducing a very special guest, and that is Gary Calligas from NAMPA. Gary, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dan, for inviting me to your fabulous studio here, and it's a distinct honor to be able to be interviewed by you.
That's very nice.
And you've got a wonderful operation of your publication, your television, your YouTube, and all the other activities, and your travel that you do for seniors and boomers throughout the Vegas area.
That's very nice. Let's start with the basics. What is NAMPA, and what's your role?
I am the executive director, part-time executive director of NAMPA for the past 12 years. And NAMPA is an association of senior boomer publications throughout the United States and in Canada. We've been formed in 1999, and we represent over almost 2 million in circulation, about 6 million in actually readership. And we meet annually and collectively, and this year we met in your fabulous city of Las Vegas at the Palace Station. We'll give them a plug there.
There you go.
And we had a wonderful time there, great food, great networking. We network amongst your publication and my individual publication and all the other 10 or 12 publications that made it here, and publishers, and shared ideas, right?
Absolutely. But let's start with a basic. NAMPA stands for what?
North American Mature Publishers Association.
Yeah.
We're a nonprofit organization, and it's open to any member who is a publisher of a senior boomer publication. So,
one of the things that, again, we've been a member of Vegas Voice for like the last 5-6 years, and we have learned an incredible amount of information, and what we enjoy, at least what I enjoy more than anybody else, is meeting with the fellow publishers and learning how they do this, how they do that. Talk a little bit about that, because I think that's the best part of NAMPA.
Well, everybody has gained something, and it's a face-to-face meeting, and we all network. We're not competitors. My little publication called The Best of Times in Louisiana, northern port, Shreveport, Louisiana, has been in existence for 22 years. And we joined NAMPA back in 2004. We're a very small publication, and after we went to our first NAMPA convention and met with publishers throughout the United States, we learned so much, and we changed to make it better, both in content and in layout, and to provide more beneficial resources and information to our demographic, seniors and boomers throughout Northwest Louisiana. We're a small city. We have a 300 population, but we have at least 70,000 seniors and boomers within our area who are 55 years of age or older.
And again, you're also a fellow publisher, as you mentioned.
Right.
Yeah. So, and again, we don't compete at all. I mean, if anything, we exchange ideas. How do we make it better? What do we do here? What do we do there? Best of Times. How long has that been in publication?
We formed our publication right after 9/11. I mean, actually, September, and we formed the publication, and first issue came out in October of 2001. And we were a little bit scared, but it was. And that I have a background in home health. I was a home health care administrator for 10 years.
Okay.
And before that, I was a Medicare administrator for the Medicare program for the entire state of Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And so I've got interesting experience. And so my wife and I decided there was nothing in the area, and we decided to start a little senior boom. And I was only 50 years old.
Yeah.
And so that was a challenge sometimes when people say, Gary, you're not even a senior.
Yeah.
And I said, I feel like it.
You feel like it,
and
yeah.
I know I can convey information. But when I was a home health, I did do a lot of educating, which my home health had 1,500 patients, and I would say 80% of them were over the age of 65. So I lectured to them individually, their families, and et cetera. But we also, that like you do wonderful in YouTube and videos. I've done talk radio. We have a talk radio show called the Best of Times Radio Hour. It's on AM and FM and streaming, and it's been going on since 2001 as well. And I just fell into the radio by accident, but it's been heartwarming. I've touched, and I'm so humble that I have listeners all over the world that listen to my podcast.
It's nice, because, again, the Vegas Voice also has a radio show, so we share that in common. And it's interesting how you can just get certain ideas that are common to both Louisiana and to Las Vegas.
True.
even though at certain points we have nothing in common in terms of what you need and what you have. Do you enjoy doing the radio?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love interviewing. I'm a facilitator. I don't give them my opinions. I know you do occasionally,
Right.
but we avoid three things on the radio show because I've had everybody. We avoid politics, religion, and sports.
Okay.
There's tons of sports, AM, FM, television, tons of those. So I've had sports people want to come on, including football coaches, you name it.
Right.
And I said, I'm not the venue for that. Find somebody. And likewise, politicians different. I don't let them promote, but I let politicians, I've had governors, I've had senators, I've had people from Texas, congressmen from Texas, from Arkansas, from Louisiana, the governors, even on my show, but we don't talk politics. We talk about issues affecting seniors and how they're going to be helping seniors within our area, and they appreciate that. We don't talk Republican, Democrat, Independent. We talk positive, and I'm a positive person. As you know, your tagline and the Vegas Voice is very similar to
Right.
mine. You're the voice, and we say our Best of Times radio show and our magazine is the voice of seniors and boomers. We're the resource there to give them positive information.
One thing I'm going to put you on the spot as we both look at the camera. I work with my Rana, and you work with your wife Tina. Is that great? Is that bad? Or now that you're on the camera, you say, "Oh no, that's the greatest
it's
thing in the world."
fantastic.
There you go.
She's upstairs in our Hawaii office out of our home, very, very similar.
Right.
So she's upstairs and I'm downstairs. But we communicate, we visit. I've been married 48 years now. It'll be 49 next year, and
Right.
we'll do our 50th year. So we've been and at first she didn't love it, because we fell into this, and I told her that we're going to do publishing a magazine, and she's not involved too much in the radio stuff. But now, she's astute, and I'm proud to say, just like you've won some national awards, and we've won a few as well.
You have, and in the few minutes that we have left, talk a little bit about the national awards. How is it given out? Who receives it? How you have some, and thankfully we have some this year.
I'm proud of y'all.
Yeah.
I'm always proud each and every year. So that's one way where all our members can benefit, because we get independent judges. Each publication is allowed to submit entries, and we have independent judges we've used from the University of Missouri School of Journalism, a highly recognized school of journalism. And they're totally independent. They receive all of our entries, all of our magazines, all of our publications, and directories and senior directories, and evaluate them independently, but in comparison with other similar publications of size, primarily of size.
Right.
So it's important we all learn, and our writers, our layout designers, our editors. We don't have a radio category, but we have a website category.
Mm-hmm.
But so very few of us do radio. You and I, and two other people of our 55 members do radio.
Right.
So it's a way to recognize your staff, recognize the hard efforts of your editors, your layout, and it's great accolades, and everybody looks forward to them because it's one way to give a independent saying, well, that's a great publication, that was a super article, that was a super layout, etc., in comparison with others. So it's awesome.
And again, you're the executive director. I'm on the board. It wasn't like we can fix this to win the awards. We have no say in it at all, do we?
And I don't know the information until like 24 hours before. It's all top secret. And the only reason why they asked me to know about it is I have to sign them and validate each certificate. I don't generate the certificate, but I validate the certificate.
Well, in the minute or so that we have left, what would you like readers to know, or watchers of the Vegas Voice, about NAMPA itself? What does it strive to do?
It strives to make each one of our publications more resource for those seniors and boomers in their market area. We give each of our publications a lot of resources, from learning from other publications to make theirs better, but also other resources in the community and throughout the United States. I mean, there's agencies and organizations that can help us in New York, that helps me in Louisiana. So I would not have known about that until I was a member of NAMPA.
And one more thing as I'm about to sign off. The thing about it that I really enjoy is not only do I learn something as the publisher, as the editor, how do I do this, how do I do that, but you make such great friends. I mean, you really meet people that are great. I never would have known about you except for NAMPA, and I'm so glad that I do, and I've learned a lot. So, Gary, I want to thank you so much for being here, taking the time to come on out. I know you got to fly back, and this is Dan Roberts from the Vegas Voice, and we will see you again next time. Thank you, Gary.